Hi guys, Steve Passanelli with Tech Savvy Agent. Made a post yesterday about digital SLRs and I wanted to clarify what I was talking about and let you know my opinion on why a digital SLR is probably not the best choice for a large amount of real estate agents out there. So first off, I love digital SLRs. I have a lot of them actually. I shoot weddings on the weekends for fun, and I use two 5D Mark IIs, and I have a Canon 7D as well for a backup, and I've been doing it for years and years. So I do know what I'm talking about with cameras and lenses, and I wanted to give you my explanation of my post. So where did this all start from? Last week I was in Denver, and I had two agents come up to me at two separate times, and they said, Steve, I'm going to get a camera, I'm going to do digital home tours, and they're going to be great. Which one should which one would you recommend? And they started listing all these high-end digital SLR cameras. I asked them, to make a long story short, I asked them a few questions about what they knew about cameras and the effort and the time and that they were going to put into it. And for those two agents specifically, a digital SLR definitely was not the right choice for them. There's a learning curve on these bad boys. You just don't pick it up and start using it immediately. To get photos, it takes a lot of time, practice, and effort. To get videos, it's just as much, if not even more. So let me explain the specific reason, though, why I said that I probably don't recommend it for most agents that are out there. One of the nice things about a digital SLR is it has a very large sensor, a large sensor being about yay big, maybe the size of a postage stamp or so. These cameras here are what's called a full frame camera. Now, what makes that sensor so great is you could do things like this. As you can see in this picture, a gratuitous shot of my son here, but it's the best example I had on the fly. My son's in focus with his brother right there behind him in the back of the chair there, and then the background is beautifully blurred, and you can see it's just a green swirl of colors. What's so cool about that is, yeah, the subject's in focus, the background's blurred, it puts more emphasis on the subject. And that's one of the great reasons on why people like to shoot with a digital SLR, especially at weddings and portraiture, etc. However, when you're walking through a home and you're doing a home tour, you don't want limited depth of field unless you're going to create a fancy commercial like the one that was on the post yesterday there that showed us, it was a commercial about a real estate agent in a particular home and how great that agent was, and it had actresses in it, and they had a lot of really cool effects. That's not necessarily selling the home. For the average agent out there, they aren't going to have multiple people working with them and a lighting crew, etc. So they want to go in and they want to do a decent job in capturing everything within that home. So if you have a camera, maybe like one of these, or this is a Kodak ZI-8 or a Kodak PlayTouch, the difference here is the sensor on these cameras are really, really tiny. And that allows, just by the science behind it, that allows for a much greater depth of field. So I tested this out yesterday just to make sure that there was a significant difference. And I walked around the house with one of these and my 24 to 70 lens on a full frame. And then I walked around the house with one of these. And on a digital SLR, you have manual focus. Now there's some new cameras coming out that will focus. I don't think the focus is quite as good just by the way that the cameras work, but we'll have to wait and see. But you have to manually focus, and when there's things out of focus in your picture and they're not intended to be, like you're trying to get a shot of the whole room, it really doesn't look as good. One of these right here. Now, again, going back, if you have a digital SLR now and you know what you're doing, there are many ways around it through equipment and other things that you can do, but you need to have an intimate knowledge on how to use that camera. And that's the point that I'm making. Most people aren't going to study how to video or how to shoot still pictures, and maybe you've been shooting still pictures for years for your homes, but if you don't know what aperture setting is or shutter speed or ISO or anything like that, then a digital SLR right now might not be for you. And that's why I made that bold statement. Now, we had a lot of people on the post yesterday that had videographer crews and filming companies that will come out and film your home. Obviously, a tech-savvy agent, we do recommend hiring a professional a lot of times for your photography as well as your home tour video. We know that videos are more important today than ever, and the professionals coming out, if they're not using one of these, then maybe you should be a little bit scared. But it takes a lot of practice and a lot of learning to get good. You're not just going to pick this camera up and it's going to work wonders for you and you're going to have beautiful video home tours. So, I hope that gives you some insight into my thoughts about digital SLRs versus cameras like this. Of course, this will work in the hands of the right person. But this will work in the hands of 90% of the community out there. And you can also get some pretty neat extras and add-ons for this too, like stabilizer bars and wide-angle lenses. And it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper. Just what I have on here right now, this is about $4,000 for a full-frame camera and the 85mm 1.2 lens. Wouldn't want to shoot at home with that though. But cost is quite different. It's about $100. So hope you guys enjoyed the post. Please, as you know, feel free to leave comments on the bottom. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of comments about this just based on the responses that we had yesterday. Hope you guys have a good day.